Today on Your Questions Answered, I'm going to be answering a question which I get quite regularly is, does rolling the corners to prevent plane tracks work on a bevel up or low angle hand plane such as the Lubin number 62? First thing, I want to show you what plane tracks are, so for those of you that are unfamiliar and haven't seen the video, which I will leave linked down below, you have some idea of what we're talking about here. So let's jump over to the vise here where this board is sitting and I'll show you exactly what a plane track is. So this is just a piece of scrap. And they've done a pretty good job. So a plane track, you can hear that little click from the pencil if I'm over here. But here, you can hear it's catching. Essentially what's going on is as the blades come through, it's done this, obviously exacerbated, but we've got these square edges on the sides which leaves this little ridge shape that's here. And so that's why we want to either add a camber or roll the corners to stop plane tracks, and I prefer to roll the corners because it's a much easier and just less invasive process in my opinion. So let's jump down here and I'll show you how we roll the corners. I know I've done that in a previous video, but I'll just quickly brush on that and I'll leave the video down below where I did the entire process so you have better understanding. But we're going to quickly roll these corners and then I'll show you the difference that occurs with that. So for this process I'm going to be using my diamond stones, this premium setup. I'll leave the video down below if you want to check it out. 400, 800, 1200, they're the grits, the strop. The grits are not so important in this situation, but what we're going to do is use these to roll the corners. Now Pete, one of the long-time supporters and member of this channel, suggests that what he used to do is use a dished out oil stone, so that's one way you could do it. But if you're using the diamond stones you don't really have to worry about it dishing out, but you could buy yourself a cheap inexpensive oil stone and probably makes this process a little bit easier. But I'm going to show you on the flat stones because I know a lot of you are going to have flat stones and keep them flat and are using diamonds. And you can also do this process on sandpaper, but you just got to be a little more careful in making sure that you pull back and don't push forward into that paper. So the whole process here is that we start slightly off, so we don't want to damage our newly sharpened edge here, or you can actually do this process before you sharpen and then you don't have to worry quite so much. The idea is we're rolling maybe 5 millimeters on each corner of this blade. Now, they're not exactly rolled corners as in circular. Sometimes they can. It's more of a chamfer that ends up at about a 45 degree on the corner, which takes these corners out of play. And I'm just going to keep moving in this motion, and this is on my coarsest stone, until I'm happy with the way the corners roll. So if you have a look there, you can see that it's pretty much actively rolled out of the way, if you can actually see that there. It's actively sort of rolled out of the way. We have no sharp corner like the point on this side here. It's gone. Now depending on the angle that you sort of push it out to, that's going to determine sort of the shape on the front of it, but the effect is still the same. It doesn't really matter. You can see there now, it's nice and shiny. That side it looks like it's rolled off. Front it's sort of rolled out of the way, and it's not going to be the same. You freehand it like this, it's never going to be the same any two times you do it. The larger you make this, the less often you have to do it between sharpenings. If you're doing camber, you've got to do that every time, but in this case, depending on how big that is, you can determine how often you need to do it. So let's throw this blade back in the hand plane and I'll show you how it eliminates the plane tracks. So let's run it on this board. This is the other side of the same board. Now you can see here that I've put it through there, but when I run the pencil over here, There's no ridge. And so we can effectively say, even with these giant shavings, that there's actually no ridge there, or no square ridge. Essentially what we're trying to prevent is that square ridge where it really digs in. The idea is that it's sort of, although it's a little bit steeper than you would expect, it's not actually leaving a heavy square ridge like we had this side. You can actively hear that there's a ridge on that side versus no active ridge. So what it's done is it's tapered it out and not left that square deep ridging that you would be used to with square corners. So there you have it, folks. I hope that puts to bed that we can actually use these rolled corners on either a bevel up or bevel down plane. It works just the same, just like with a camber. You can use them on both too. But I just wanted to show you that the rolled corners could work on both, which I had not previously tried it on one of these, and so I just wanted to show you for sure that it actually does work. So if you like this video, please do like and subscribe down below. While you're down there, do sound off in the comments if this is a similar experience that you've had with rolling the corners on your plane blades. And if you'd like to see another Your Questions Answered, do check out the playlist up here that has all the Your Questions Answered videos. Bye for now.